counselor said, I'm afraid I'm telling you you're HIV positive. And I was blank. And then he asked me, so man of God, he looked at my collar and he said, so man of God, what are you going to do? And it was not a question that was filled with empathy or good feeling. It was, I looked in his eyes and saw a mocking type of question. The only way you can dominate the other is by making yourself believe that you are better than the other one. So it's not just about fear, it's also about clinging on power. So that's why we say clean and clean. Saint, sinner. Good, bad. Lawful, unlawful. Criminal, righteous. So it's a very good way of claiming power for yourself by creating in-out. If you are a sinner, then there is no way you can be in our group.
I think it is important to read Bible, because in the Bible, Jesus said, who hasn't ever sinned, cast a stone on this lady. Nobody did. He didn't either. And he said, I did not come to judge or condemn. So who are we to be pointing fingers at others when Jesus himself did not do it?
Well, when I tell someone that I'm HIV positive, a lot of the first questions are how, and I try to avoid that as much as I can. But then, you know, off the back of that comes this, oh, what's she been up to? But I know that, like, God is a God of forgiveness, and that mercy triumphs over judgment. And so, ultimately, I'm completely above the judgments of others, because I know that ultimately God is like, you know, like has forgiven me for anything, or like has mercy for me in a sense, and grace and love and all of that stuff. And so I guess just really knowing that, but also I hate it when people are like, oh, like just like let go and let God. Like, also seek out people who are going to be positive influences in your life and who are going to reinforce like the positive messages that you need to hear, because that ultimately is what's going to get you through, like a physical being like, I'm here for you and I'm with you and we're going to get through this together.
Oh gosh, I mean, I suppose there could be many reasons as to why people judge people who live with HIV. I think, I mean, maybe one of the things about it is because HIV is largely a sexually transmitted infection. For many communities, even talking about sex is a taboo. Because of the misconceptions that exist, people always assume that you must have HIV because maybe you are promiscuous. They always time it in a negative way, but the actual reality is, for me, the reality is HIV is an equal opportunities illness. It doesn't matter whether you are I don't know, it doesn't discriminate about whether you're white, you're black, you're gay, you're straight. You don't have to have done anything wrong. The one thing that I guess is common in a way is not about what people did to get HIV. If you ask me, that is very much about what you didn't do, and that is you didn't use protection. So it doesn't necessarily make you a bad person, does it?
You know, society likes to have the guilty and the innocent when it comes to HIV, and I think, unfortunately, often people in church think that as well, and people always want to know, how did you get it? And there seems to be some shame in going, I had sex, which they shouldn't be, because but for some reason in church it's like, oh, you had sex. It's like there's the big drama, and you know, again, it's not easy for people to stand up and share that. You know, perhaps if they contracted HIV through one of the more acceptable ways, which sounds ridiculous, because it is ridiculous, then that's fine. But I think church does have to come to realization that people do have sex, and we do just need to get to a point where we can just talk about it openly, because we're human beings, and as human beings we're created as sexual beings as well. So
very often we talk about stigma and prejudice, and very often we look at it from the perspective of a third party practicing this on us, but very often it is within ourselves that it is more pronounced, and it can limit our capabilities if we do not liberate ourselves from that feeling.